Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am, of course, L, and today do I have some shapes for you. We are going to be doing our preview of the three divisions that we'll be casting, REL 4A, 4B, and 4C. And of course, joining me today is my co-caster, Finny.
Hello.
And we hope that we have a great show for you guys. We're very excited about this season, being our first season in the major leagues. And yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're going to just dive right in without any further ado. Let's take a look at Division 4A. And I think I'm going to do this in the order that the teams are here on my spreadsheet, just so I don't get confused. So the first team that we're looking at is Mundugu's Pepper Snakes. And
Orcs.
this team is an orc team. They are carrying a couple of unspent levels, 1310 in TV. Have them up on the screen here. And they don't look bad at all. They have some good development. That one injured Black Orc is going to be painful for them, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
Strength 5 block, and then I'm not really sure about that Jump Up Black Orc, but we'll see what he does. I guess Jump Up on a slow piece, kinda interesting.
Yeah. I guess you got a double and went, well, let's take jump up.
Yeah,
Okay.
why not? It'll be fun. What could possibly go wrong? So, from our survey, he had to say that his team was recently slaughtered, which is why his TV is so low, and his star player died last game. So unfortunately, he's coming in without that. He has declared that his primary rivalry is with True Blue and Big Chuck because they're WCW admins, and yeah.
Pretty normal WCW rivalry going on there.
Indeed. We actually have a number of those in the four divs, in
Yeah.
ours as well. But yeah, I like
We've
this
got
team. This Blitzer that is designed as a ball carrier here. Blodge, sure
pretty
feet,
good.
sure hands. He's,
That's some good rolls.
yeah, that's a lot of freaking doubles.
Yeah.
And,
And
yeah,
the strength up, the one with the level, that's gonna be a great,
it is. It is. I wonder what
great
that level is, what he's
piece.
sitting on, because that could be piling on, or he could go jump up again in expectation of getting piling on. But it's a
Oof.
nice team.
Yeah.
His record is 8-4-3, which is a very winning record. So
hmm
hopefully the slaughter from his last game will not hamper him in this season, and he'll be able to climb his way upward. Being in the middle for the TVs in the div shouldn't hurt him too much.
Yeah.
All right. The next team I have up here is Onigoku's Pox Invictus, which is a Nurgle team. I love me
Mhm.
some Nurgle. Let's find them here. Where are they?
Jeez.
There they are.
He's there.
1790.
He's about to get scary this
He
season.
is. He's got block on all his Nurgle warriors, plus strength on one of them.
Oh, lovely.
Stand firm Beast of Nurgle at 13-16. He's got the dirty player. His Pestigors are coming along.
It's pretty good. Strength up Pestigore that could be a ball carrier.
He says that his team is in great shape, and his two favorite players here are a Korzop Rex, which is, of course, the wrestle movement up Pestigore, and Gamupox, the strength
hmm
block Pestigore. So he's going to be paying attention to them, and of course, Mighty Blow Claw Pestigore you can never go wrong with. The only thing
hmm
that he really doesn't have, and he notes this as well, is he doesn't have sure hands. He doesn't really have a dedicated ball carrier, which for Nurgle can be a problem because it means that you have to spend your rerolls on those. But with so much block, he doesn't have the normal Nurgle difficulty
Yeah,
there. So
I think he'll be okay without sure hands.
his primary rivalry is Big Chuck because they went 0-0 in their game last season, and so he would like to do better this time. And also True Blue, because High Elves and Nurgle are apparently natural rivals.
hmm
He picked Nurgle because he wanted a defensive team. And
Yeah,
in a
I love his
very
expectations.
aggressive prediction, yeah, he expects to finish first, 11-2-0. So for the rest of Division 4A, that is a big gauntlet thrown down for you
Yeah,
guys to take him down.
yeah, go get him.
And
Yeah,
as a
only
as
gave
a
up 4 touchdowns last season. Jeez,
isn't that crazy?
that's pretty good.
That is amazing. So from there, I guess we'll go to Big Chuck and see what the team is that forced him to go 0-0. Big Chuck's
Okay.
Chaos, Clicheos. I like it. I like the team names. They are adorable.
Yeah. What's going on with this one Chaos Warrior? He's
Oh,
just gone mental.
he bought him on the market. He has a new acquisition this season
Okay.
off the market. So I think he hopes that he will be both the star player and the one to become a legend on the team.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And of course, his homegrown star player is a fate worse than death because every Chaos team needs a good Fowler.
Hmm.
And his rivalry, of course, Blue, and he's rivaled Onigoku back. So that should be fun to watch go through.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like he's aiming for top four.
He is, he is. And he
Doesn't
likes.
care about survival.
That's right. He does not. I've seen him play. That is 100% true. He is all about winning this game at all costs. And I'm just gonna say one more time. I really like his team theme, and his record is pretty good too. 9-4-4 with this team.
Pretty
So
good.
2 thumbs up to Big Chuck. We're looking forward to seeing big things out of you this season. I'm really excited.
Yeah. So blue next, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna go straight on to the True Blue, his Integrity Farmers High Elf team.
Yeah, he's been doing some trades, hasn't he?
He has indeed. Look at that. So he has named as his star player Kim Hobbit Kardashian, his Agi 5 Mighty Blow catcher, which is a crazy, crazy guy, but he can get at you anywhere and then he can kill you there.
Yeah,
So
kill you anywhere. Pretty good. And the speed of this team, Jesus.
I know, right? He's got a speed 10. Captain Zoom. I've seen Captain Zoom at work, and he is an amazing player. So hopefully he'll serve True Blue very well.
Yeah.
Yes, Air is indeed a great player in such aside. It was a great pickup, I'm sure. But yeah, so I like this team.
So it's very elfy.
It is extremely elfy. Accurate, strong arm, pass, safe throw, crazy
Yeah.
PC principle. Couple of tackle blitzers, which is nice. Not any mighty blow outside of the catcher and no guard, so that could put him in a little bit of a difficult position against some of the strengthy teams in this division. But that said, he expects the top three.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. And his statistics on the team are really good. 9-1-7, so positive. And
Yeah.
he did make the World Cup in 2018, so he does have some player skill to back up his
Yeah.
hopes and dreams.
If you didn't know, by the way.
If you didn't know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that team at work. And next up here, we've got Vang with his Dark Elf team, Kicker of Elves. I am
Where is
always partial to a nice Dark Elf team.
it?
This one seems to have suffered recently.
Mm.
I did not get a response to our survey, but only 10 players, that's never ideal, and only one Witch Elf, which makes me sad because they're my favorite players in the entire game.
He's got 110k in the bank. He could be well on his way to another one.
He could.
But he does need a reroll.
He does. He's only got 2 rerolls. His stats here are, a little underwater, 2, 6, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully he'll be able to pull that up with some time in the oven here.
Yeah. He's got a lot of block, a lot of dodge, got a lot of the key skills.
He
He's got his
does.
one mighty blow that he needs, and 2 guard, which is
And
pretty
both
great.
guard has block too. And one of the hardest things that Dark Elves have is to keep their guard players alive. So
Yep.
that should help.
Definitely.
And I love the Fend lineman here, Sicker. He's everything that you want in a lineman.
Yeah. Pretty good.
And next we can go on to the infamous Hindi, and his toucan play at that.
Camry, huh?
Camry. And not only is it Camry, but he's been some other people's Camry idol in the past.
Yeah.
And we can see why this team is not a team that, I'd want to have to play against.
It's pretty great. That Tomb Guardian and the Blitzer are killer.
Very, very
Gonna
good.
take him a long way.
And he's got a lot of Mighty Blow. He has the piling on. It's hard to complain about this team. Right, Jim Sardonic.
Never heard of him.
I'm sure. And I really like fouling Toucan 4 with the dirty player guard, because that's always how you want to build your pieces, right?
The 90k dirty player. Pretty good. So what does Hindi have to say?
He has to say that he loves his fouling Toucan as well. His rival is Jim Sardonic, but he doesn't remember why. So, Jim, there you go with that. He was admiring Gengar's Camry, and that is why he chose to go with this build. Now, I've heard stories of the scary, scary Iron Maiden back in the day, so he expects to get top 4 with this team.
He was runner-up in the Bird Bowl.
Which was him versus Hindus. I asked him if he was sure that he wanted to make his highlight coming in second in a 2-player competition, and he said absolutely. So, there you go. You are welcome, Hindi. I have followed your request. And of course, the record on this team, Camry, 6-2-5. That's great. They're hard to start. So,
yeah.
Good for him. Good for him getting a good build so quickly, and I look forward to seeing where they go. And up next, we have Redbeard with 2 Ds, with Cryptlord's 2 Boogaloo and Necro team.
Yep.
Find them in the list here. There they are.
He's got a mighty Blow Wolf.
And he's nice round 1600, which is great. Puts him basically right in the middle of the division. Mighty Blow Wolf is delicious.
These ghouls are insane. What the hell?
Aren't they? And the Flesh Golems, too. The Flesh Golems both have Mighty Blow, both have Block. He is proud of Polly 2, the Revenge, his werewolf that got Mighty Blow. He thinks that that one is going to take him all the way this season.
Yeah. I mean, get Mighty Blow on a wolf. That's your star player right there.
Absolutely. And
Doesn't
that's
matter how good your ghouls are.
And that's why he went Necro. He said he went Necro because he loves Claw and he loves regen. And so getting Mighty Blow on that wolf is going to maximize the benefit of that Claw right there.
And he's happy at 500, but wants to kill and cripple as many other teams as possible.
Yes, Big Chuck, we're absolutely going to talk matchups. We're going to look at the schedule once we're done going over all the teams. we need to know where we stand before we go into who versus who. And that's right, the smack talking never stops. So about Redbeard, his quote is that he'd be happy if he can go 500, but he'd like to kill or cripple as many other teams as possible. So the rest of you in this division, keep an eye out, because he's got his eye on your blood.
Yep.
Next up in your wheelhouse, I'll let you take primary on this one, we have Red Stick's Skaven.
Is this the cheese wheels?
It is. They're not accepted their ticket yet, so we're going to have to find them.
I've got them.
Awesome. Let me just get to them.
It's like a little bit of a struggling Skaven team. 17 games old. You got him?
Almost. Oops. I'm just being dumb here. Oh, you know what? I have to make it league. I apologize for the delay here. Professional streamers, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Come on, what are we doing? There we go.
Yeah, blame them for not taking the ticket. Don't
That's
blame
right.
us
It's
for.
their fault for making this harder on us by not taking their tickets. Come on, do your search. I know it's hard to search all of the Blood Bowl teams that exist, but it's your job. Gosh darn, there's a lot of Cheese Wheels teams. There we go. Is this the right one? Yep, Breadstick. There we go. So, 12:30. What do you think?
Yeah, so for how many games in is he? 17 games. He's a bit behind, probably where he wants to be.
Well, it's because he doesn't have a
Uh,
gutter runner like yours.
yeah, exactly. But he's got two heads gutter, a strength up gutter. I think he's got a guard rat. He's gonna regret the guard on the blitzing vermin.
I think he probably will. You're right. It's really weird to see guard on a storm vermin.
It's yeah, guard's a luxury on Skaven. Um, really want those vermin to be killers. Um, but they're still rats, and they're gonna be down TV a lot, I imagine.
And Rats
So
with a Wizard scare everybody. So 4, 3,
rats,
and 10 for his record, but we'll see how he can change that coming into this season.
yeah, and he's going for the mass blodge on the gutters, which it's annoying. But if he can make that last one into a really good sacker, I think he'll be alright.
And he's going with the sidestep too. And sidestep, I know how annoying it is. As a Dark Elf player, I get it on my blitzers, and people complain. So it must be a good skill.
Definitely, definitely.
Right. So now we can move on to another Chaos team. Koso's the Criminally Insane. If I cannot press the wrong button. The Criminally Insane.
Well, that immediately great naming scheme.
Absolutely. I love it. Serial killers are always a good place to go. Fascinating to everyone.
And a block minnow, block tense minnow.
That's a scary Minotaur. All he really needs is stand firm, and he's just like a massive roadblock that nobody will want to deal with. I don't necessarily like Minotaurs, but if you have to have one, this is a great way to go with him.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, it's gonna be annoying as hell, isn't he?
mm-hmm.
And claw first chaos warrior. So
That's
I
bold,
guess
right?
he needed claw, but he needs to score a touchdown and get mighty blow ASAP.
3, 3, and 9, and of course, in those 15 games, he's managed to inflict 29 casualties and 2 kills.
Mm, pretty
So
good.
that's kind of terrifying if you're someone looking into facing him in the near future. He's got strip ball, he's got dirty player, so he's got a lot of wide grounding skills. The only thing he's really seriously lacking is a dedicated ball carrier with sure hands, but John Gotti is very good. So
Yeah, yeah. He's probably gonna struggle a little bit this season, um, but I think by the end of the season he's gonna have a nice looking team.
I think you're probably right about that. Let's just hope that he doesn't suffer too much with the 2 warriors that didn't go block first.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. This will be a good development season for him in Cesticide, and we'll see where he goes from here. All right, and then we have Jim Sardonic, the Dead Man's Hand Necromantic team.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, rivaling Hindi back, and the reason that the rival exists is because Jim was trash talking both Indiana and Khemri. Got caught, Hindi declared him a rival, and then forgot why.
Brilliant.
This Necro team exists because he wanted a flexible team to use when joining a new league. He has been a member of REBBL for only since ramp up, but he's been playing Blood Bowl for 11 years. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Necro is a great team for kind of feeling out a new area. I kind of feel like Woof might be market acquisition.
I think didn't he get him from Shales? Or was it the other one? I know there was some wolf trading going on.
I don't know exactly how the trading went down. I haven't been following all of those things very closely, but it's a great piece to get your hands on. Strength Up Wolf is just amazing.
Yeah.
Um, he personally thinks he needs a little bit more development.
Yeah, some development on the whites and the golems would be great, and less zombie MVPs
That would be
would
nice.
go a long way.
Maybe if you could get the Jim and Bob to do an announcement to the audience, stop voting for the zombies as MVP, but
Yeah, but we all know that's not going to happen on Necros.
and he stands by his comments on Indiana and Camry. So Hindi, if you're listening, turn that I like to cripple people on this guy right here. And
Yeah,
with his current record of 4-1-3, he hopes to finish about the same this season. He wants to be in the middle of the pack, so he wants a nice development season. Hopefully, he'll be able to get himself in a great position to climb next season.
yep,
Then, a
yep.
familiar name for you and I.
Mm.
We have Mad Bomber 6 and his Lizards of the Caribbean, coming to you 1760 TV, fresh out of the Miners runner-up position,
Yep.
barely losing out the Miners final, giving that up to Spoopy, who went on to be the first Miners team to actually win in the Major League postseason in the Challengers Cup. But
Yeah.
he put up a good fight too.
Pretty good season for Mad Bomber. I mean, the only person to beat my Rats, got to the final, only lost to Spoopy.
Very, very good record. I
He's-
mean, if you look, his record is 15-4-6, which is amazing after college and minors.
Yeah, and yeah, block on every Saurus, Blodge Saurus, couple of tackle, couple of guard.
He's a little sad about the armor bust on Elizabeth, but what can you do? And his favorite is his star player Jack the Monkey 2, Mr. Strength Up Wrestle Skink. That's disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, they're insane. Yeah, we had a lot of fun watching this team last season. One of the best naming themes in minors, I think.
He just needs a niggle and then he'll be ready for the big leagues. There you go. But it's a great team, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
Yeah.
Then we have Zinrock and the Pretty Pink Ponies Bretonian team. Where are they on my... There they are. They are carrying a pending level, and they are 1130 in TV. So
Boy.
by far, I think the lowest in this division. It's a blocker who's
Yeah,
carrying a level here.
they're coming in off 7 games, so I'm thinking this is probably a ramp-up coach from last season.
I think you're probably right about that. I did not get a survey back from him, so I don't have a lot of background on him. But the team is interesting, as far as Brett's can be. He's got some good stuff going on. I mean, he's got movement up on a blitzer, which is great. And fastest piece getting faster is never a bad thing. He's got guard. He doesn't really have any like oomph as far as kill goes, but otherwise it's a nice array of skills for a start. I don't really have a lot else to say because there's not a lot else to the team.
Yeah, they're not even pink. I mean, they're kind of pink.
No, they're definitely fuchsia. I'm totally
probably the
gonna agree with
closest.
Hindren.
But yeah, he's just gonna be looking to survive and pick up some levels, I think.
I agree. I mean, he doesn't even have an apothecary yet, so I think he may want to buy that before the first game.
Yeah. It's gonna be a struggle for a lot of the coaches coming in that joined ramp up late last season.
I think that you may be correct on that one, absolutely. Right, next, another familiar face.
Oh boy, this team.
Spazzy McGee's Thorum's Company, 1790 Dwarves. Stomping their way all over the place. Guard coming out of their ears, strength 4 on a Longbeard, strength 4 on a Troll Slayer. Now, I would like everyone to point their eyes at the armor on these two Troll Slayers. They were like that basically the entire Minors season. And yet,
Yeah.
they're still there.
Didn't I do one of those like really early on?
You might have. I wouldn't have been
Second week
surprised.
of the season, and they just will not die.
They will not.
If anyone fancies bountying something that needs to die, those things have been hanging around way too long. Apparently we're a bit quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn us up. How's there? That should be a little bit better. My bad.
Should be.
So
And
his record's 7-6-9 after college and minors. So coming in with a basically just a little bit under even record, and I wouldn't be surprised if he carries that on into this division
yeah,
here.
I mean, he was Death Roller Dwarfs for a long time,
He
wasn't he? And
was.
was just memeing it up and throwing ridiculous passes with his dwarfs, and then eventually kind of dropped the roller and started to play a bit more serious.
Yeah, when the season
We'll
got
see
closer
how
to
it
the end,
goes.
he decided to knuckle down. And of course, you can see that he's stuck really hard with the Hobbit theme as far as his
Mm-hmm.
names go.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it. And last but not least, to close out Division 4A, we have the last familiar face, Scott's Tots episode, Filthy Peasants Humans. Now, these guys are renowned for having the killiest player in minors from our
Mm-hmm.
season, which would be, of course, Anthony Bernard, this disgusting, mighty
And
blow piling on tackle juggernaut.
mm-hmm. Yeah, he was absolutely ruthless, wasn't he?
He was
And we had
without
some,
mercy.
you've seen those troll slayers. We had chorfs, like full on murder chorfs and all sorts. And
Mm-hmm.
this guy outdid them all.
He did. He is a crazy player. The team is great.
Mm-hmm.
In Peasant's estimation, the team is great, except that his ogre needs development, and I believe that he's accurate on that. Just guard on that ogre means that he's not really supporting the team as much as he could.
Yeah.
And of course, he has rivaled Mad Bomber 6, but Mad Bomber 6, of course, being the minors runner-up, has his nose in the air and didn't even notice that he was there. So we'll see where he goes with that. His crazy killer did lead him to a 9-7-6 record, and he has been playing very well as much as we've watched him. So I
Yeah.
think that he's going to go pretty far in this div.
Yeah. And I see Incesticide loving this team. If you could just click on the club tab, though, it might change his mind.
Oh, let me do that. Let me do that. You can ask yourself if you can really put up with that weather dome. I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't hate it personally, but I'll let the haters have this one.
Yeah.
Shall we take a look at the first round schedule?
Yeah, first week schedule. Are we
Alright.
doing picks each?
Yeah, why not? Why not do picks? That seems like our tradition.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So starting off on a strong note, we have very very low Skaven versus the Tegrity Farmers. Where do you think this one's gonna go?
I think I'll go give this one to True Blue. The rats are a bit underdeveloped. The high elves are way overdeveloped,
I
and they, it's just a really good high elf team.
I am going to completely agree with you. I'm gonna throw my mark behind True Blue as well here. I think that he's got a lot of oomph to go.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Dark Elf Kickers of Elves, played by Vang, up against Mad Bomber's Lizards of the Caribbean. This is going to be an interesting matchup, I think.
Yeah. I think Lizards OP.
I mean, Lizards OP, but Dark Elves with a wizard, you can't ever count them out.
Yeah, I think. Just.
But you're going to anyway?
Been impressed with what I've seen from Mad Bomber. I think he can handle it.
Mad Bomber is quite a good player and quite good at adapting. So, all right, you're going to throw yourself behind Mad Bomber. I'm going to go with the Dark Elves. A little Dark Elf solidarity here.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Just a second here.
Well, this next one's gonna be a murder fest to start the season.
Isn't it? We have Pox and Victus up against the Scott's Tots episode. In my opinion, the two killiest teams in this division facing off in round one. I'm sure the rest of the division is very happy about this particular start because it means that they may only need to deal with one kill team.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there's ever a time for Filthy Peasant to take down Onigoku, I think it's game one before he gets any more kill skills before he
Maybe I
gets
should
any
have said
chaos.
two of the killiest teams. So, so that's what you're gonna go with?
I'm gonna back the humans, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got you going with peasant, and I'm gonna have to go with peasant too. We're gonna have a little bit of minor solidarity. Hindi, of course, saying that we should be saying that they're two of the killiest teams, not the two killiest teams. Because apparently,
Yeah.
apparently we offended him. I'm sorry, Hindi there. And the next matchup we have the Clicheos versus the Criminally Insane. So it's going to be an interesting one because it's Chaos versus Chaos, and Chaos Mirrors are always weird games. You never
Mm,
really know how they're going to go. Often there's lots of violence and blood and death.
yeah.
And I don't think that this is going to be any different. We have an interesting spread here, about 130 difference in TV. So if Chuck
Hmm.
isn't prepared, he may be facing a wizard, depending on if Koso is willing to splurge on that, or maybe just a bribe so he can get extra fouls in. Either way, it's
Yeah.
enough to give the lower TV team a little bit of a kick.
Yeah. Kosa's only got 10k in the bank, so he doesn't have much room to pull off shenanigans.
Looks like he won't be able to pull out a wizard though. So what do you think?
I I think I'm gonna back Chuck. I think he's got, the better team,
Yeah,
more consistency because he doesn't have a minnow. He's
yeah.
just got this great Chaos Warrior instead.
I think consistency is going to be key in this matchup, and
Yeah.
I think that I completely agree with you. I'm going to back Chuck as well. I think that Air, as a great pickup, is going to help him out a lot here in this head-to-head.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And we have the Pepper Snakes versus Thorim's Company. This would be orcs against dwarves. I can't think of a more iconic matchup other than orcs versus humans. How do you think this is going to go?
I mean, I think if you look at the teams, I think dwarves have the advantage.
Strongly, yeah. They've got a ton of guard. The orcs have recently been spanked. They're short a black orc.
Um, I think coach-wise, experience-wise, maybe Dung has the edge there. But I think it's going to be really tight.
It is.
Let's. I'm going to call a draw.
You're gonna call a draw. All right.
Yeah,
Well, starting off
get it out of the way
spicy.
early this time.
I think that I'm gonna go ahead and go with Spazzy's dwarves.
Nice.
They didn't let me down very much in the picks in minors, so I think they'll continue performing well. We have Hindi's Toucan play at that, and the Crypt Lord's 2 Boogaloo. So Nurgle, none of that. Kemri versus Necromantic. It's gonna be an interesting game, I think.
Yeah. It's going to be tough for the Necro to deal with all the strength for Kemri.
I think it is.
Um,
I think it's 1600 to 1620. They're very even. I think if he can find an in and get a nice claw mighty blow hit on a Tomb Guardian or two and get them off the field, he may have a chance. But he's facing some very scary Tomb Guardians, so if that plan goes awry, we may be seeing that favorite wolf suffer some unpleasant.
yeah, being down a wolf for this game's going to suck.
It absolutely is, yeah.
The goals and the speed might help Redbeard a bit, but I think Kindy's got the edge here.
I think you're right. I think I'm gonna go with Hindi as well. And I'm definitely going to go with Hindi to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is going to be whether that Mighty Blow Wolf can kill someone back. And we'll see how that goes. And last but not least, closing out Division 4A, we have the Dead Man's Hand facing off against the Pretty Pink Ponies. I think that this one is going to be a little one-sided for Jim Sardonic. I have a feeling that the Necromantic team is just not really going to be very impressed with those poor abused Bretonians.
Yeah. I think Jim's going to be in the hit hit people with his mighty blow wolf as much as possible and try and level him this game, because the Bretts don't have much to come back at him with.
I think that you're 100% correct. I think that the real question here is going to be, can the Bretonians get out of this with their positionals still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Jim gets his one win of the season finished early. Nice, Hindy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
The team name is amazing, yes. So yeah, that's Division 4A.
I think that's everything we need to cover for 4A, right?
Jim Sardonic
you
says
guys
he gets a win week 3 and a win week 6 as well.
Yeah.
Akoma,
I
thank
think
you
we
for
need
the
to cover-
subscription re-up. That is wonderful. You're a great person.
Hmm.
And going back, Jakayla, thank you for the host. I appreciate that. I'm not sure how much random people are going to enjoy watching a preview of specific Rebel divisions, but I know that we appreciate it every time.
It's always a good time here.
So,
who's their admin? Let's let them know. 4A is Doof. For you lot.
that's right, Doof is your admin. We know him well from the Rookie League. He is active there as well, so he's a great guy. Next, without any further ado, on to the best of the fours, 4B.
Oh, yeah.
This would be the division in which, I don't know, some really awesome people are. Maybe, me and Finny. So let's take a look at the teams we've got going on here. Starting off with Incesticide's Primal Concrete Sledge Chaos.
Oh, boy.
2010 TV Chaos. He describes his team as, quote, perfect, unquote.
Whoa.
Incesticide, if you don't know him,
good.
is an excellent writer. He contributes to news.rebel.net quite a bit. He's actually written up his own preview of this division. You can check it out there on the news posts. His rivals are Chorfs and also Nexus, because Nexus leads the clan that Incesticide is a member in. If you don't know, of course, Incesticide, named after a Nirvana album.
Yeah.
And this team is...
I mean, it's not perfect. It's pretty amazing.
He clearly follows the school of let's confuse our recappers by having our Chaos Warriors just randomly interspersed amongst the Beastmen.
Yeah, just shuffle everything around, try and throw your opponents off. What do we got? We got a Blodge Frenzy Killer, we got a Claw Tackle Pommer, Blodge Guard. Jeez.
It's scary.
Yeah. Every level he adds this season is just gonna make him so much better.
And 2 Agi 4. One of them already set up as a Sure Hands ball carrier, the other one brand new and looking for a job. Yeah. It's a deadly team.
It's gonna be a struggle to keep these guys off the top, I think.
And looking at their record, 10, 9, and 14, Chaos, of course, starting off a little slow, which might explain that. And I expect them to trend upward as things go on.
Yeah, definitely.
And, yeah. So the next team we have is Sunhawk and his Nightmare on Elf Street 2000 TV Dark Elves. This division has some really, really high TV teams.
This is a stacked division, I think.
It is. Now, he has a Wizard Stadium, which is, I guess, a popular thing for a high TV Dark Elf team to go with. I, of course, like to go with a different stadium. We'll see when we get there. But it's interesting. And this team, I would like everyone to take a look at the agility on these players. Now, I know that Dark Elves are normally a high agility team, but typically they don't have 4 players with agility 5 on the team. Finny, are you there? Am I losing you? Oh, no. Uh-oh. Hang on, everybody. Technical difficulties. Finny? Yeah, there we go. Hello. All right. Looks like that was a little Discord hiccup.
Yeah, we went into full robot mode. What were we saying about this team? The amount of agility on it?
It's disgusting.
It's pretty nuts. Some of these elves need to get murdered.
Now,
Free.
some of them are already prepped for murder. Gregor Clegane and the Elusive Man. The Elusive Man, of course, being who Sunhawk calls out as his star player, both with niggles. So they're both ready to be killed. So anybody who wants to volunteer, please kill some of the Agi 5s. Agi 5 Mighty Blow Witch Elf is scary. We have
Jesus.
Tackle, Wrestle, Strip Ball, which is exactly what you want on Queen Bavmorda here. She's apparently done harassing Willow, and she's come to be kind of a jerk to the rest of us.
I love that it's the Nightmare on Elf Street and Freddy Krueger's a rookie.
Isn't that funny? Now we'll take a look at his record. 24, 16, and 46. One of the most played teams in this division. Not really showing the results that you'd expect out of those agilities. Maybe they came late and they'll start showing up some results as the season goes on. We'll have to keep an eye on things. Sunhawk, of course, claiming 20 years of Blood Bowl experience, only 3 in the REBBL, but that's a long time to have been playing this game, which has existed for more than 30. So,
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, he's happy with his team and not his performance.
that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful team. So I hope that he can take them far in this season. Yeah. And now, next, we have Our Name is Legion, their talk show terror necromantic team. I love the names on this team. I was looking at them earlier. 1590, not a bad place to be, especially not with 2 Blodge werewolves, one of whom with Mighty Blow.
Pretty good necro team. Nice. Pretty even development except for the one fleshy.
Yeah, Conan O'Dyan,
like
he has called out as his star player here. And he recognizes that he needs more flesh golem levels, especially with Brawny Carson being totally fresh. I suspect replacing a dead person in that situation there.
Hey, Rumblebee.
And he says that this is his last go at Necro before he rerolls to a new, fresh team. So I wish him the best of luck with his season with them. His record up to now is 6-6-1, which is really good. So good luck with the season.
Pretty good development for 13 games as well.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to the Norse. We have Urwolf and the Bifrost Guardians.
Norse.
I'm going to find them in here somewhere. There they are. 15-10 Norse. 19-7-24, which is respectable for Norse. Sometimes they have trouble in some matchups.
Yeah, it's a pretty good Norse team. Not quite full-on murdery Norse.
Except for the Gut Spear there. Mr. Palm Agi 5, Frenzy, Berserker. I mean, all Berserkers are Frenzy. That's a scary guy. That is his star player, and he considers his team to be beat up and short-handed. So I suspect that his main focus here is going to be keeping this team alive and kind of replenishing their ranks.
Yeah, definitely. Add some more bodies to the field would be pretty good for him. That is a crazy lineman. I didn't even realize that was a lineman.
Isn't that really funny?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that this is his college team. He has kept it for his full, basically 2 years in REBBL, all the way from college up to now. So good for him. I love people who like a team and stick with it. That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's got to be a stand, of course.
Of course. Because who's more surfy than Dark Elves? Norse. Norse are more surfy than Dark Elves. And on to I Shoot Blanks and the Horn of Gorthank Chaos team. 1600 Chaos. You know, this division has a lot of people in the 14 to 1600 region. So there's going to be a lot of fierce competition in the mid tiers there. 9-4-4 is an excellent record.
Yeah, really good. Really good warrior development on this.
Absolutely. The move bust has got to be annoying, but it's never enough to just fire a Chaos Warrior, especially not one that's got Mighty Blow, Guard, and Block. So I can see why he's still there.
No claw.
No, no claw, and that's really kind of surprising. I suppose that Oopsfagor is going to be picking up either claw or block next, and then whichever one he didn't get as the skill after that. And of course, Kaad Fatunt is his
What?
star. I don't know. That's his name, Kaad Fatunt. I didn't name him.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely his best player, isn't it?
Yeah, that's who he has called out, and he does not have an upgraded stadium or a stadium enhancement, and he's actually carrying 20k of bloat in cash. Lots of money on this team. So he
Pretty good.
may go with a bench before his next game, or he might just drop some extra cash, or who knows, he might hang on to it.
Yeah. I think he's in a good spot.
He is. He's definitely poised for a good ascent here. His quote: "The Horn of Gorthank pays homage to the mighty Chaos Relic, a cudgel engraved with eldritch sorceries, carved from the penis bone of a massive walrus." So I guess
Wow.
if you play poorly against them, you will be bludgeoned to death with a walrus's penis. And that said, let's move on to Brian 506's Valparaiso Bulls Chaos Dwarf team.
Ew, there's Chorfs in our division.
Yeah, I know. They're only 1340 though.
There's not many of them.
They look like they might have suffered some sort of tragedy. Maybe their team bus went off the rails on the way to the new season or something. 6-5 and
Yeah.
6-6-5 is not terrible.
He's got one incredible Chorf,
He does, and
but he hasn't doubled.
no, he has no doubles. He's got an Agi up on one of his Bull Centaurs, which is great. They really need a Bull Centaur who can carry. And I don't really know what else to say about them. They are really, really hoping to get the money they need to get that last Chaos Dwarf blocker back on the team, and then probably pick up some more Hobgoblins. The Dirty Player Hobgoblin looks at the fact that there's no bench and pouts.
Yeah. and Jim Sardonic's on this team.
He is. Jim, how do you feel about being on this team? I know that you're in the audience there.
So we all get a shot at trying to kill Jim.
That's right. Even though we're not in his division, we can still kill him. I like it.
Yeah.
So if I have to face Chorfs, I wouldn't mind facing these Chorfs.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they're still Chorfs. They're still good, right? But
Yes.
not
No.
quite as
No. Yeah. For circumstances beyond their control, mostly having only 5 Chorfs on the team. Next up, we have Sinister, also known as Nexus in most realms of the REBBL. The Fashion Police. Pink Nurgle at 1560. Now, I love pink teams, especially pink kill teams. As we saw in Miners with those pink orcs. These are kind of more lavender, but I'll give them pink.
Yeah. And so it's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Pretty good start for Nurgle.
This team being led by Tom Ford, level 5 Pestigor with both movement and agility up. He thinks that he is a Dark Elf Blitzer.
Yeah.
With sure hands. So he's a level 2 Dark Elf Blitzer.
Yeah.
With horns, I guess, but still.
I like the way he's taken this team as well. He's gone for kind of the middle ground between, good skills and kill skills. He's gone block, then mighty blow. He's gone mighty blow, then block. So he hasn't gone full to one extreme or the other.
Yep. And he's got a block beast, which is gorgeous.
Oh yeah. This can be great.
He's got a level 2 stadium with no enhancement, and his record is 6-3-8, which is great for a starting Nurgle coming out of their first team with almost an even record. So I can't really hate on that. He doesn't have any rivalries, and his ambition this season is to not be in the bottom 3.
It's a pretty solid target. It's achievable goals.
I think that you can achieve that goal there, Nexus,
Yeah,
and we'll look forward to watching you this season. All right, we have another familiar face if you've been in the Rookie League, because he was quite active as a participant there. Gazcool and his Leaping Lizards Skaven team, helping out the admins there, and just generally being an awesome, experienced player.
There's been so many of these teams named after one race but playing another.
It's very confusing.
It's a headache.
1330 Skaven, so they are going to be running with max inducements for most of this season, I think, which is where Skaven want to be, right?
Yeah.
10,
Absolutely.
7, and 16 is not as impressive a record as some Skaven might aspire to, but yeah, we'll see.
But he's got some great skills to do some things this season. He's got the perfect claw mighty blow pile on tackle.
That's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
He's got a crazy retriever.
I like that he went all in on the lizard names here.
Oh yeah.
And he says that his team is not great but not terrible, and his star is Skink number 1, which is the sure hands, big hand, sidestep, blodge gutter runner, which is kind of gross.
Pretty good retriever, ball carrier.
And then, of course, strength 2 heads, wrestle. That's a disgusting cage diver if I've ever seen one. Just looking to get himself strip ball, really.
Yeah. Strip ball, horns on a double. That's going to be a great sacker.
And I think that really all this team needs is just a little more development. So good luck with the season, and we will see where things go from there. Oh, and his achievement, the reason that he doesn't have the one-turner on the team, is that he made a one-turner in Greenhorn and lost it by game 5. Last season.
Good job.
Nobody likes a one-turner is the lesson we should take there.
We'll have no deaths of one-turners in this division, thank you.
Next up, we have Goblins.
Yay, Goblins.
Coach Blimey's Danny's DeVito's, sorry. And let's see, do they have a stadium? Of course they do, Nuffles Alter. Do they have a record? Of course they do. 3-2-12. That's a Goblin record if I've ever seen one.
Yep. It's actually a pretty nice looking Goblin team, really, isn't it?
Yes, he's excited to see what fun he can have against the 2K Elf teams with this team here. Strength up Troll with a pending level is I'm going to admit that's kind of scary to me.
Oh yeah. Pretty good trolls, pretty good weapons. Not many levels on the Goblins. It's pretty great, I think. It's probably a double. I would imagine it's a double if he hasn't taken it.
Yeah, I mean, if it is a double, then are we going to see 2 block trolls? Block, break, tackle, block, strength 6? Or, I mean, I don't know. So it's a fun team, though. I really like it. This ridiculous Buddy Hall with his agi and his movement. I don't really know.
Goblin.
Now, possibly to the benefit of the rest of the division, he has an inherent grudge against Chorfs.
Oh, good.
And when asked why in God's name he would choose to play Goblins, he was peer pressured into it by a friend who basically forced him to, with the shame of being a coward, I think. So.
Pretty much. Yes, definitely the throwing gobbo, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Until he gets eaten, and then you're really sad when he gets eaten.
Yeah, that's your everything gobbo.
Of course, he costs as much as 3 goblins.
Yes. And speaking of great goblins,
we have a goblin marine playing on the underworld side.
I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about his underworld goblins. No offense, Goblin Marine.
His underworld team 5, 6, and 19, which underworld has that as an issue. He does not have Nuffles Alter, and he is a lot higher in TV than a lot of underworld I've seen. So that's a really interesting thing to look forward to. He admits that his team is bloaty. He loves his 2 agility 4 goblins, and he thinks that his troll is the star of his team.
Yeah, I mean that's a really great underworld team. He's obviously been struggling, but I really like the amount of development on this team. And,
absolutely.
You look at that and you'd think it was a lot higher than it is, but just because it's underworld, it's only 1480. But it's a really nice team.
Good point, Sai. You can always induce Ripper to throw your goblin so that he doesn't get eaten.
Yeah, scary team. Hopefully, Big Daddy Bill can kill some dudes.
That would be nice to see. And then, I don't know who this crazy bitch is, but we have LEB's Dark Elves, the Darkness Rises. I'll let you talk about my team rather than, bragging on myself.
This is a pretty gross Dark Elf team. Won your division last season in minors. The witch elf is crazy. Got a great ball carrier. We've got mighty blow pile on, and some nice even development on the liner. It's gonna be tough to deal with.
I'm really happy with this team. I think that the biggest thing that it could use is maybe another tackle, probably on one of the linemen once I get them there, but that's just going to take some SPP. And I have a surf stadium because all the cool kids have surf stadiums. 975 is my record. I like that. And I honestly think that I probably would have won the Miners playoffs if the dice hadn't gone against me. I know everybody says that, but I failed 3 2+ rolls, any one of which would have won the game for me, which was really disappointing. But yeah, I'm enjoying playing this team, and I'm looking forward to playing them again with the great competition in this division. I've played against a lot of these coaches, or some of these coaches, in other settings, and I'm looking forward to playing against some of the others.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty fun. Who's next?
Next up, we have Dory and his top 10. Oh, I want to say to Rumblebee and Incesticide, the reason that diving tackle is okay on the witch is 90% of the time when it functions, their turn ends immediately, and then she has jump up, so she gets up again. So she really doesn't spend much time on the ground unless they miraculously manage to roll a 5 or a 6. That's why I felt safe picking it. But I can understand that point of view. Alright, so let's talk about Adorable and his top 10 circus. His Kislev, they have hung on to existence against all odds.
The fact that he has a team right now coming into this season is pretty incredible. Because he did not for a lot of minors. What did he cycle? He went through both catchers.
Yeah.
At least one, maybe 2 blitzers.
Yeah, his
lost
blitzers
a
have
ton
been
of
huge.
linemen.
He just can't get developed players to stick around.
Yeah. But yeah, there's still Kislev. They're still gonna do Kislev things.
That's right, Division 4 bad.
But yeah, he's got this great killer.
Yeah, and he's got an even record with Kislev. You can't really knock that too hard.
Yeah, and he was, what was he? He went to college playoffs and was on the edge of minors playoffs somehow.
He has managed to keep himself in contention the whole time. I'd like to see that. So we'll see how it goes. And next up, we have these disgusting rats. Finney and his Rat United. Oh, don't say whoa. Even if I mean, when's the last time they bathed?
I mean, never, but
Carrying Knuckles Alter, 14-2-3 record, going pretty much undefeated throughout regular season, college and minors, except for a few little flukes here and there. Barely losing out in the playoffs in minors.
Yep.
1400 TV with this development here. Anthony Marshall, of course, the disgusting 10 movement, 5 agility, sprint sure feet gutter runner who is blessedly missed next game for his next game, but I wish that was a niggle, but it's not.
There's one player on 4A, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Jesse Lingard is not awful, and I like the up-and-coming Storm Vermin with the strength up. Breaking that Storm Vermin curse, we had every single rat team in minors had one Storm Vermin with like 5 levels and one Storm Vermin with 0 SPP. It was really funny to watch.
It was such a struggle for everyone trying to get that second Storm Vermin off the ground.
So breaking that curse and getting strength up on your first level on him is probably pretty satisfying, I'd say.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
One is a designated blitzer, the other is fodder. That's right. He's gonna go stand in the way. That's really the best that he's gonna accomplish.
Yeah.
All right. And last up, the one who hasn't accepted his ticket like a slacker, K-Pwned and his Chaos for Chaos' sake Undead. Another one of those teams named after a different race than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's switch over to the Spy League and try to find this team here. Teams all Chaos for Chaos. search, and wait.
So this guy is 1 year of Blood Bowl, 1 year of Rebel coach. So reasonably new.
I should point out that the season hasn't even begun, and Anthony Marshall already has $10 worth of bounties on him. So if you're in 4B and you want some money,
Whoa.
kill him.
Jeez.
All right, so chaos for chaos sake. No stadium enhancement, 6-4-3 record. One season team here. Not a terrible start.
Yeah.
Mummies with guard, one with stand firm, a white with guard, a white with dodge. Going to be interesting to see what kids goes with that level there.
Yeah. You probably want some more Mighty Blow, I guess. Or you go guard, stand firm.
And I imagine that this Blodge Ghoul is probably going to pick up Sure Hands.
How many ghouls are on this? Why are they all mixed in? 1,
I
2,
don't know.
3, 4 ghouls.
Yeah, he's got all 4 ghouls. He just doesn't like his recappers.
Yeah.
We're going to get you for this.
We should stop telling people what we don't like because they're just going to do it more.
You think that we're the kind of people that people would like to antagonize that way?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think you're probably right about that. So yeah, this is a solid start for an undead team, and we'll see where they go. He says that he's doing okay. He's sad that he has no stat ups, and his rival is Urwolf. He says that they have a history from REBBL, from the Rookie League. So and he picked undead because he thinks they're fairly straightforward. Now, they are one of our 3 recommended beginner teams, being Dark Elves, Orcs, and Undead, but I always think of them as the most complex of those 3, so good for him, taking them and going far with them, so we're going to see where he continues to go.
If he accepts his ticket.
He will. He's around now. I think that he was just busy when the season first launched. All right,
Good.
so oops, I'm not looking at my team. Here, let's look at
Schedule time.
All right. First match is me against Chaos versus Chaos sake. The undead there. I'm gonna let you call this one first because it's me.
Well, I'm picking you, of course.
Woohoo!
Gotta back my fellow caster.
You are so awesome. I'm gonna back myself as well because I can't vote against myself. That's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have the Bifrost Guardians against the Leaping Lizards Rats. Norse against Rats. That's an interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah, Norse typically kind of a bad matchup for Rats.
Mm-hmm. The Rats have just enough inducement money here to pick up the wizard that they so desperately crave.
Well, then that changes it a bit, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Incesticide's going for the Norse. Don't think I can bet against the Rats here.
Yeah, I mean these are some good Rats. You think that Palmer is going to kill some of them Norse?
Hopefully.
I think that I'm going to back Gazgul as well. We'll go with the Rats.
Not all Rats.
It's not that we don't have faith in you, Urwolf. We just think that
like
those rats are scary with a wizard.
Yeah.
All right, and game 3, Nightmare on Elf Street, Crazy 2K Dark Elves, up against Primal Concrete Sledge. Which, if any team had to face these guys first, that's the team that you want, right?
Yeah.
10k in inducements to the Dark Elves in this matchup.
This is one hell of a season opener.
What do you think is going to happen here between Sunhawk and Incesticide?
Incesticide's picking the Delves. Jesus.
I'm going to go against Incesticide, and I am going to vote for him. I think that he's going to reduce the Delph TV just a little bit.
The one team I didn't want first. I mean, I think for the rest of the division, we're all ecstatic that the 2K teams are playing each other first round.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jeez. This is a really tough call. I'm going to go with Incesticide. I think he's going to beat the shit out of him.
Darkest Dung, here's a little thing that you might not know. If you create a league and then you go to the team's screen, as the admin of a league, you can view all of the teams that exist in Blood Bowl on any league just by flipping that little selector to all. That shows you every single team that exists in the whole of Blood Bowl. So if you want to look up a team and they're not in a league, you can always just create your own league.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I'm sorry, so who are you going with in this matchup here?
I'm going with Incesticide to just
Alright.
murder the elves, unfortunately.
Now, Incesticide, I do need to let you know that it is considered immoral to throw the game in order to throw our picks off. So just keep that in mind.
Probably didn't know that.
All right, next up we have the Talk Show Terror against the Valparaiso Bulls. We have an interesting matchup here. Talk Show Terror, 1590 Necro, and of course the Valparaiso Bulls, somewhat beat up Chaos Dwarves. I think the claw on those wolves is going to come in very handy here. So I think I'm going to throw my money behind Legion.
I mean, how much guard do these dwarves have?
They have some.
One guard, one dwarves. Yeah, I have to go with the Necro here.
Yeah.
And the dwarves have got enough to cause him serious issues.
Yeah, I think we might see some damage to the Necro, so I think that we might have to cross our fingers for Regen to fail for the rest of the season, or for the rest of the division. But yeah, you're gonna go with Legion as well.
Yeah, I'm going with the Necro. Looks like Incesticide and Sunhawk are off to play right now.
Yes,
so
they are. They were holding off on our prediction before they played their game. So thank you guys. Good luck on your game. Have fun.
Love it.
And let's see, what else do we have on the schedule? We have the Horn of Gorthank and their walrus penis going up against Dory and his top 10 circus. So,
where is this Chaos team?
1600.
This is gonna go one of two ways, isn't it? Either Dory is going to die and lose, or he's gonna not die and he's gonna jump all over the chaos and just like 3-0 them or something.
I agree with you, and I think that I think that out of solidarity for my miners buddy, I'm gonna back Dory.
Yeah, I'm gonna back Dory and his armor dice to hold.
All right, so there you go.
As long as his armor dice holds, I think he's got this in the bag.
Rock on. All right, and then we move on to the Fashion Police versus the Boogie Miners. How did we miss Goblin Marines team? No, we didn't. We just didn't say their name. So, what are we gonna expect here?
Just trying to find the Fashion Police again. It's Nexus, right?
Yes. Second page, upper left-hand corner.
Jeez.
Nurgle versus Underworld is an interesting matchup, because like if they can get their beast on a bunch of goblins, then they can really, really hamper the Underworld's ability to kind of move around and exert field presence. But if the goblins insist on dodging off, they're kind of left in the lurch.
I really, really like Goblin's team, but I think Nexus should be able to win this one.
All right. I'm going to put my money on Big Daddy Bill.
Who's Big Daddy Bill?
Goblin Marines killer with horns piling on Claw Palm.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
And I think that's going to serve him well against the Nurgle, because it'll let him stand up to, with the combination of Nose Pick a Poe, the Troll with Guard, and Big Daddy Bill with Horns. If we can put Poe in there, then that means that we can Claw Palm blitz Nurgle warriors with 2 dice. And that is what makes me lean towards Goblin Marine for that game. The last but not least for the season, we have Goblins up against your team.
Jamie.
I mean, I have to go with you. I think that the only way that you don't win this game is if that disgusting Mighty Blow grab fanatic kills several players.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you there. It's gonna take some shenanigans and some murder from the goblins to be able to win this one.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm backing myself,
of course you are.
but I wouldn't bet against me getting pitch cleared.
Sometimes it happens with goblins, you know? You never know. There's you just never know. All right. And
Yeah, exactly. I can't play without the one turner. That's all.
that's right. Finney just can't play without the one turner. We have established that he can't play without gutter runners at all, having watched him try to play Underworld. So
Yeah, that's true.
we'll see if that extends to not being able to play without his star gutter runner. All right, and let's move straight on into the third division. We are recapping 4C. And the first team we're looking at here is XA Sam 24's Blutverein Silurian Lizardmen.
Say that again.
Blutverein. Rumblebee, he wants us to go out of order and do his team next. I don't know, what do you think?
I think we can make that happen.
That's fine, we'll do it. So we're looking at Rumblebee's comic book heroes. More pink, I love them. 1370 Chaos. They are 4-4-9, which is not spectacular. What do you think of the team?
I mean, it's early chaos. It's okay, right? It's got claw mighty blow. It's got a mighty blow. It's got some guard already. It's the splat here is interesting.
That's his
He's
star
gonna
player, by his own words.
it's gonna live up to his name. 4+ leaping. He's definitely gonna live up to his name. And Chuck, the claw first beastman. Very very interesting choices here. I like it.
It's a fun team. I
like
can't
it
wait
a
to
lot.
see them at work. And his rivalry is with Hiroto Skura because
Of course.
he's the only rematch. And he expects to finish in the middle of the table with this wacky team. And having seen Rumblebee do some crazy things in the past, I can't bet against him on that. So we'll see how he goes.
I think that's a good target, and that'll be a solid season for him.
Yeah.
He can do some
Well,
crazy
Rumblebee,
stuff.
there you go. If your crazy stuff works, you'll get your middle of the table prediction. If it doesn't, well, I hope you have a better team next season. He's made 8 of 9 leaps, so that's
What?
disgusting. He's cheating.
Amazing.
Somebody
I
is
love it.
hacking on your behalf or something.
I love it already.
All right. Well, peace out. Have a good day, Rumblebee, and we're going to continue on with the division here. Let's go back to the Blutverein Silurian. I'm just going to keep saying that.
This is a pretty nice lizard team. More lizards, yay.
Yeah, you know, I love lizards. I don't like playing against them, but I like that they exist as a team. And 1670 is a nice place for them to be. 777 as their record, lucky sevens. So hopefully that
Yeah.
bodes well for him for this season.
And a move 7 Saurus.
That's pretty
Thanks,
scary.
It's a pretty good lizard team. He needs to get these other 2 Saurus off the ground.
He does, he does.
But other than that, I like it.
He thinks that his Saurus are underdeveloped and his skink game is strong, and I agree with him. He's got to move up one, and he's got 2 block, which is amazing. So.
Yep, pretty good.
And Grab on the Croxagore says to me that his main focus on the Croxagore is being a one-turn assistant and being kind of a line guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Tying
pretty
people
cool.
up, keeping them there, pounding them back down.
I like it. And he has one coach assistant because apparently he just can't keep track of all these lizards himself, which, you know, it's understandable.
Yeah, why not?
And he would like to brag that he was the deadliest coach in 4D last season.
Pretty good.
Pretty
Pretty
good.
good brag.
So let's.
And he came out of Eurogamer.
Yes.
Yeah,
So he's
cool.
pretty fresh. Let's see where that goes for him. Next up, we have Practical Snow and Dead and Scoring It, an undead team. 1550 is their TV. They are 10-3-4, which is an excellent record. They are currently living in a referee rest area stadium, which means that everyone gets a bribe. They're a team that can
Pretty
definitely
good.
take advantage of that bribe. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a pretty nice undead team, right? Off to a quick start.
Agi 4
Got
ghoul, movement
Block
8
Mummy.
ghoul, block mummy, stand firm mummy. It's a nice team.
He's just got everything he needs, hasn't he? I'd expect quite a strong season.
He
He's gonna have
considers
a
his
big.
team to be in great condition, and his star is the
Yeah,
ghoul with plus agility.
yeah, absolutely.
And he likes the undead because they have a wide mix of player roles, which is very true. You got the slow pounding guys with the mummies, and you've got the wights who are like mid-range blitzers, and then you've got the fast ball handling ghouls.
Yep. Yeah,
And
it's pretty cool. Excuse
And
me.
I would like to say that he is very self-confident here because not even knowing who's in the div, he predicted that he would be in the top 3.
Pretty good. And apparently he's just old.
That was the entire quote that he gave me. Yeah. He's been playing Blood Bowl for 15 years, so.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Frost and the Rock and Roll Rats.
Yay, more rats.
1390 Skavens, sitting on a 7-4-2 record, which is beautiful, and no stadium enhancement yet.
He's got a very, very throwy thrower.
He does. Safe throw is an
Yeah.
interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the kind of coach that uses your thrower just to sit back and then run up and pass to your gutter runners, then accurate safe throw is about all you need, really. Is.
Absolutely, because if the throw doesn't go right, you just don't do it.
Yeah. And yeah, the vermin have got mighty blow. The gutters are built pretty well. It's gone straight in for leap on the edge 5, which is always a decent choice, leaping on a 2+.
Absolutely. So he's clearly planning to build him as like either a sacker or like a one-turner who can leap over lines, or just a scoring threat. He could go either way. It depends on what his next couple skills are.
Exactly.
And with a wrestle strip already, he may be going for scoring threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like the kind of semi one-turner, ball recoverer kind of guy on the edge 5. It's pretty strong. Because you have 2 seconds to go already. It's pretty good. It's pretty much where you want to be after 11, 12 games with Skaven.
Absolutely. All right. And next up, we have Pieces of Mind and his Nudie Dudes, Norse team.
Yeah, he's not in yet.
Wow, yeah, we got 3 admin ones here.
He's struggling with real life and being far away from his computer.
That's just uncomfortable, isn't it?
He is coming. He will be here. And it's a pretty good Norse team. There's a lot of skills going on here.
He considers his team to be well-rounded, and Jack Me Off is his star player. Oops, not the admin team. He is 8-4-5 for record, and he has a security gate which blocks riot and pitch invasion, which is, if you're going to go defensive, my favorite stadium.
Pretty good. And yeah, he's got some nice puns going on here.
He absolutely does.
The one that jumped out at me.
The Yeti being Sir Fox a lot. I like it. I also like Long Dong Silver.
Yeah, pretty good. This is Finn's, by the way, Gunnar. Hi.
He considers his star player to be Jack Me Off, but he also thinks that Eysteinotter, who I believe is a market acquisition for the name difference, is also quite strong.
Yep, pretty good. Pretty good Zerka.
When told that the Bison had declared him as his rival because it's a rematch, he said, "Bison isn't my rival because that implies he's competition." Bold words, and I expect the Bison to make him eat those words.
Yeah, bold words coming from an AV7 team, right?
An AV7 team whose motto is, who needs to be good when you can just hit the other guy more often?
Yeah. Sounds like Norse.
Hey, got our 2-3. He's praying for big hand on Jack Me Off, yeah. Too bad Norse don't get some mutations, right? But yeah, nice team. We'll see where they go. Next up, we have Arnun's Bowie would be Agi 4, which is probably true. This is a Pro Elf team. And let me just get back over to...
Sounds like Bison got diced last season.
Oh, did he?
Definitely a rivalry going on here.
Ooh, that is...
Love it.
I love it. Can't wait to see you two face off. All right, what am I doing? Looking at the wrong div. Yeah. Professional streamers here, everybody. All right. Bowie would be Agi 4. And I think that that is a true statement.
Yeah.
And he requested Bowie as the backing music. Unfortunately, we can't because we don't want to get this VOD muted. That would be unpleasant for people who weren't able to watch it live. But, you know, definitely, I love the Bowie theme on the Pro Elves.
If we catch a game of his at some point, we'll definitely have it as the intro.
Yes, there you go. It's a great start on a Pro Elf team. Their statistics are that they are 6, 5, and 6, which is nice and even. Pro Elves historically having a hard time surviving.
I mean, he's got 8 positionals, and they're all still alive. Pretty good going, without being able to protect them properly.
On its way to 666, that's right. To match the 777.
I'm not. It's a good, well-rounded Pro Elf team, except for this mental thrower at the bottom.
Yeah, beer pong.
Why is he still on the team?
I'm not really sure.
He's a bit nuts, isn't he?
That's weird. Kick, blodge, thrower with movement down. I mean, I guess maybe he wants to keep the kick. So, like, he's waiting for, like, say, Super Creep to level so that he could give him kick and then he can fire this guy, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. And, yeah, as Gunnar says, the stats on catchers are so good.
They are.
Edge 5, Nerves of Steel, Dodge, Catcher. It's crazy good.
And then the Strength 4 catcher is crazy, too, because Movement 8, Dodge, Strength 4 is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Market pickup. That makes sense to why he's injured. And,
Go with Blodge. Yeah, it's true. Blodge.
When asked how he expected the season to go, he answered, "Most of my players will probably die."
Feeling pretty good. Most of my players will die.
I think that's always how you have to answer those questions when you're playing as Pro Elves. You know, you're playing an AV7 team that always gets in the thick of things. So, like, I feel good now, but one bad game and my whole team is blank.
Yeah. I mean, one bad turn.
And next up, we have Buzzard295 and his Nurgle team, who have not accepted their ticket yet. So let me go.
Enjoy typing that one in.
Yeah, I know. I'm still not sure how they made it past the name, the admins, but
I wasn't here last season, taking any blame for it.
Tell me about it. But let's just say that it's not the classiest of names. I would not have personally admitted a team with this name, but that's fine. They are an older team. Their statistics are 9, 7, and 18, which is interesting for a Nurgle team. You'd think once they were this developed, they'd be able to pick more wins, but maybe that was in the beginning. They have a royal box.
Oh, wow. Cool. I love it.
I think more for the pun than for the effect.
I mean, if he's losing all the time, it's going to dump his fan factor, isn't it?
That's so very true as well.
Keep the bloat down.
That's right. And as a Nurgle team, they're remarkably unkilly. 17-10 without a single mighty blow, except for the beast, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just picking up those, important skills first. Then I guess everything where he goes from here is probably going to be kill skill.
I agree. I suspect that probably what happened was he had a Killy Pestigore who died.
Probably.
The name is a curse, that's why he has that record. Excellent. That makes perfect sense to me. So there's not really a lot else to say. I mean, it's a solid beginning of a Nurgle team, which is funny to say at 17-10, but I mean that's how Nurgle are. He just needs to rebuild his kill, and he'll be in a good position here. Next,
And I believe he said he's accepting his ticket.
excellent.
So he'll be in soon.
Excellent. Next up, we have Heroes Warp Stone and Rock and Roll Underworld team. So let's swing back over to the actual league. Sorry about all the back and forth, but again, we're going to blame this entirely on those slugabeds who have not picked up their tickets yet. Like they aren't stoked about this season or something. I don't even know. Kind of shows a lack of confidence, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
this is an underworld team a little bit earlier on than we saw earlier.
5-1-7 for their record, no enhancement.
But it's a solid start. The troll is great. Having that much SPP on the troll.
That's a beautiful troll.
So you
Hero
don't want to get
says
stuck on him.
Hero says that his star players are Hurt Cobain, which is the good killer there with Mighty Blow and Horns, and of course Glart. Being at 1260, he's going to be getting big piles of inducements for most of the season. So Glart will probably be a permanent member of this team.
Yeah.
And he wants to kill Eistenoder from the Norse team because he sold him to the market with his former Norse team, and he wants to now remove him from that other team. I don't think he considers Pieces of Mind's team worthy of the glory of Eistenoder, so he wants to kill him. And he picked Underworlds for its uniqueness, which it definitely is.
Yeah, love it.
If you don't know who Hero is, shame on you, but he is the prime mover behind the Clan League, which is incredibly popular, which makes him an important figure around these parts. So say hi to him, and if you're in a clan, be nice to him, because those admin results might go against you. No, I'm just kidding. He's very fair. So.
Yeah.
Right. Who do we have next? Thousand Island Stare, some Chaos Dwarves, played by Dr. Spagooters, who wants us all to know that he's not a real doctor.
Okay. Good, I was worried.
1590 Chaos Dwarves, 5, 5, and 7.
This is much better. This is a Chaos Dwarf team right here. It's a guard, lots of mighty blow. That's a great bull centaur.
He has a weather stadium.
Weather stadium? I guess he likes carrying with the bulls.
That would make sense to me, yeah.
He has a ball carrier hobgoblin. So.
But I mean, having to deal with a 4+ on your Agi 3s is never fun, even with sure hands. So I can respect the weather stadium here. And he says he's got minor injuries, which is true. And his Strength 5 bull is his star player, which I can agree with. And he has been playing Blood Bowl for 8 years and 2 in the REBBL. So there you go.
Yeah, and 557. It's an okay record, but some great development.
Yeah, so we'll see if he can improve that record this season.
Where are we going next?
Tater Spiros. Orcs with Forks. Orc team. 17-20. 12, 10, and 12. Going for the nice 12, 12, 12. Maybe he can pick up 2 draws here. Living in a security gate stadium, which is great for orcs, because pitch invasions can really screw them up. And Bash doesn't usually like riots, because they like to depend on their 2-1 grind, and riots in either direction can really make those hard to accomplish.
Yeah, he's got some great development on here. Just one Black Orc lagging behind a bit, but the Blitzer, but the rest are looking pretty good.
Now, he considers this to be a recovery season. He thinks that his team is in decent shape, but they do need a little bit of rebuilding after some rough treatment. Yeah. And his rival is Buzzard, because it's his 3rd time rematching up against that Nurgle team.
Oh, wow.
He chose orcs for their survivability. And when I asked him for a quote, he just muttered something about elves cooked in barbecue sauce between bites of a mysterious leg. So.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got a goblin. The goblin has levels. The levels are block and sidestep. That's That's not the dump-off goblin that we had in minors. It's probably a
No,
lot better than the
it's
dump-off goblin that we had in minors.
definitely. It's a pretty standard goblin. I like it.
And I like the pro killer.
Yeah, pretty good.
Then we have the Bison's Phantom Thieves of Hearts. Now, I do have to say that I love the Persona 5 theme.
Oh yeah.
1650 High Elves. Very nice situation there. 3, 7, and 7 for record, which is not stellar. He's got a magic dome, which is interesting. He must be very passy, would be my guess. And looking at his
Yeah,
thrower,
look at that thrower, yeah.
Joker, the star of the team in the game, and also here in Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
So he's trying to
Absolutely.
avoid the sun and the rain.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And the snow, I guess.
I'm not sure about. I suppose double into an agi up for your throw is pretty good.
Definitely.
Don't even really need accurate anymore. That's why he's gone for dodge. And some more stat ups down on the alignment. Pretty nice look.
Absolutely. It's a really solid foundation for a high elf team, so I like to see where they go from here. 1650 right in the mid-table. They're going to get some inducements, which means wizards won't be something that they've never heard of. And in a game or two, they might actually be able to pick up some of the cool star players, like my Bay Eldril. All right. We did
So, yeah.
Rumblebee's team already.
Yep. Cow goes moo.
Cow
Yes.
goes moo. His team named I Failed Dodges RBBL. That would be a Dark Elf team. Dark Elves, always proud of failing dodges. 4, 4, and 3 is a nice, slightly positive record for him to go with. No stadium enhancement, but it's often hard for Dark Elves to pick that up in the first season.
Yeah. And you can tell he fails a lot of dodges and has obviously been scarred by this.
Yes, that niggled
And
blitzer is just painful to see. I have a lot of sympathy for that. Like, Blodge Blitzer, you don't really want to fire him. Niggle is like just on the edge. I probably would replace him, but I can totally understand not doing so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
just
I think he has some higher priorities like bench and stadium and maybe, an Apo?
that would be
Um,
nice. An apothecary would be
Apo.
great to have.
Apo would be good to get. So, we
Yeah.
didn't get anything from him, did we?
No, we didn't, unfortunately. I would like to see him buy an Apo with that money. That's what I'd like to see. Replace the Blitzer next game.
We did you at the start, Blue. Where are we going next?
We are going to see Bill to Win's Grr Patrol Necromantic team. Are they one of those slackers? No, they're not. I don't know
They're on
because
the second page.
yeah, they're there. 1330 Necromantic team. They are 4, 2, and 2, which is excellent for one season, for a partial season. Nothing in the stadium, but 8 games isn't much to earn the money for a stadium, so don't blame them on that.
No. He hasn't even got his third reroll yet.
He's described his team as quite weird, and I expect that's probably because of this strength zombie that he's got going on here. And
That's a 90k zombie.
and the dodge flesh golem. They're both really funny. So get some levels on that strength zombie, turn him into a real player. He'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely developing this team looking long term.
And he thinks that Ishmael Fenrir, his mighty blow werewolf, is his star, and I agree with him.
Shocking.
And his rivalry is with Frost and his rock and roll rat Skaven to avenge a 4-0 loss last season.
Wow.
So good luck with that. All rats must die.
Yeah.
No,
Likes
really?
Claw and a mix of players. That's pretty much why you play Necro, right?
Basically, yeah. Still only got 2 rerolls, so I think that he's probably going to want to push the cash hard to get a third one there. Outside of that, otherwise, a nice solid team.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Knockoff's Balloonicorn Cavalry Skaven, which haven't accepted their ticket yet. So I'm gonna hop.
I think they're gone, aren't they?
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they've gone
Oh, okay.
somewhere. Something happened.
So it
That's
looks
now a
like
bye week
okay.
currently,
Never mind.
unless we
Forget
can
I said
find a
anything.
replacement. Um,
Forget I said anything. Delete them right off of my spreadsheet here. There we go. So that covers it. There is an admin bye week in that
yep.
division, which
See my lovely pro elves in there.
I do. I just thought that you were a slacker admin and you hadn't named them for the team they replaced. But now I see that you're not a slacker in this case. All right, so let's take a look at the schedule and see where our picks are going to fall.
Where are we? 4C. So what do we got? I failed dodges versus the Nurgle.
I think that the Dark Elves are going to have an interesting time. I don't think they have quite enough development to be confident in that game. A lot of it is going to come down to if they live up to their team name or not.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and call that one a draw.
Oh, really?
We each have to have one, right, in the week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Dark Elves.
Okay.
I'm worried with the team name and the dodge on everyone that he dodges like a madman. But if he doesn't roll any ones and he plays like a madman, he's gonna win.
Fair enough. We have next Gur Patrol Necro up against Warp Stone and Rock and Roll Underworld. What do we think about this?
It's Necro and Underworld.
Mm-hmm. And the
Mm.
Gur Patrol is a pretty low TV, only 1330, and they have no tackle. So it's a little bit of a good and bad situation. They are not going to be giving up very much in the realm of inducements, but they don't have the tackle to deal with the goblins and some of the other shenanigans that team can put up. So, what do you think?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna back my fellow admin, back hero.
All right, I think I'm going to go with Hero as well.
Nice.
I think that's a safe bet in that situation. And then we have Rock and Roll Rats with the bye. I think they'll probably win.
I think they will, unless we manage to find a replacement.
And then next up, we have Thousand Island Stare versus the Nudie Dudes. What do you think here?
Nudie dudes with the crazy Norse. Who's Thousand?
They are the Chaos Dwarves
Scooters.
with gross stuff on their team.
I like the Chaos Dwarf team. I really like it.
I do
think it's
too.
gonna win.
I think that Doctor Not a Doctor Spagooters probably has this one.
Mhm. The Dwarfs had a minnow last season, and he didn't steal all the SPP from the rest of the team, so it's
Wow.
gone really well for him.
Yeah. And they don't have the minnow anymore, which means that we don't make fun of them for it now.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Orcs with Forks against the comic book heroes. Rumblebee's low TV Chaos going up against those Orcs in their
This is gonna be a match to watch. I think I want to see this match.
yeah.
So I've seen both these coaches play before. I think
Yes.
it's gonna be a ton of fun.
And who do you think is going to win?
I
That's a much harder question, isn't it?
yeah. Do I have to? Can I call a draw again, please?
You can call as many draws as you want. You're just not going to get
Yeah.
points for them.
I'm gonna go with a draw.
I'm going to go with Tater.
Yeah.
Sorry, B. Sorry. I know you're not here anymore. You had to leave, but sorry about that.
Yeah.
All right, next we have the Blutverein Silurian up against Bowie would be Agi 4. So, some lizards
Oh
up
boy.
against some pro elves. What do you think about this?
I really like the pro elves, and I really want to go for the pro elves, but we've seen so much of lizards just dominating everyone, like
Mhm.
regardless of how their team's built.
Yeah, now the lizards don't have tackle, but they do have a good amount of block, which can substitute when you have a team that doesn't have a lot of block, i.e.
Yeah.
pro elves. It's an interesting choice. I think that I am going to go with the Silurian. I think the lizards will take this one.
I think I'm gonna pick the Pro Elves in the hopes they can beat the Lizards.
All right. Bowie would be Agi 4, and Arnuns gets your vote.
Yep.
All right, and then what else do we have here? Last, but definitely not least, Dead and scoring it against the Phantom Thieves of Hearts. Lizards are too obvious. Well, sometimes you just gotta go with the obvious. You can't really do anything about it. So, what do you think? Dead and scoring it, 1550 Undead. Phantom Thieves of Hearts, 1650 High Elves.
Hmm. I think the undead are just really solid, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And Bison's second season on elves.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd like to go with Bison, but I have to go with the undead.
I
They're
think that
just
the
too
Undead
solid,
have
too
a
well built.
tiny edge with the tackle on those whites and the well-built other pieces. So I'm going to agree with you there. We'll both go with
Yeah.
practical snow.
I do really like Bison's team. I wouldn't be sad to see an upset there, though.
I agree with you. And I promise that I will have David Bowie song queued up for if you win that game.
Oh yeah, we'll be blasting it out. Don't worry.
Absolutely. All right, and I
And
think that does it for A, B, and
I
C.
think so.
So
4C
everybody.
is my division, by the way. So if you need anything from your division admin, 4C.
Oh
That's me.
yeah, right. And who's the admin for 4B?
Our admin is Callisti.
Callisti Maya. There you go. So Doof for 4A, Callisti for 4B, and Finny for 4C. So if you need to contact your admin, those are the people.
And
Saf, no, the season has begun. You can sign up into ramp up and then get slotted into one of the lower divisions, one of the 5 divisions if somebody drops. But
yes, we need ramp up
yes,
coaches.
so,
We're a bit short of ramp up coaches at the minute, so get yourself in there.
yeah. So we're all looking forward to the season. Thank you everybody for joining us. True Blue, thank you for your comments. It's so fun to see everybody here. Everybody who filled out my survey, I really appreciate it. I look forward to doing the recaps as the thing goes on. And yeah, thank you, Finny, for joining me for this.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to the season.
And again, I have been L. These have been our shapes. And have a wonderful day, everyone. This is going to go onto YouTube and be uploaded to the Rebel news.rebel.net shortly. So you should be able to watch this at your leisure if you didn't catch it live. I don't know why I'm saying that to you since it's at the end and you didn't catch it live. But anyway, thank you and have a good night.
Bye.